the history of the world, it has never been harder to be a presenter. The age of distraction has guaranteed that everyone will mentally escape from us without a by your leave and with no compunction. Assuming you have done a good job planning the opening to grab attention, have also planned for the middle stanza of your talk, or maybe you haven't planned that. This is where people get bored and distracted, and then they leave you. We need to plan the brackets of the main body of our talk, or we may find ourselves talking to ourselves as everyone is furtively looking at their phone under their desks. Welcome back to this weekly edition every Monday of the Cutting Edge Japan Business Show. I'm your host, Dr. Greg Story, your corporate coaching and training guy, president of Dale Carnegie Training Japan and best-selling author of Japan Sales Mastery. And my new book is released, Japan Business Mastery. We are bringing this show to you from our High Performance Center in Akasaka, in Minato-ku, the business center of Tokyo. Why the cutting edge? In this show, we are looking at the critical areas for success in business in Japan. We want to help advance everyone's thinking so that we can be at the forefront, at the cutting edge of how to flourish here in this market. Before we get into this week's topic, here is what caught my attention lately. According to Toyota, their Japan taxi vehicle was launched not for profit, but to contribute to the creation of a rich society by supporting the movement of many people with taxis. It can carry wheelchair users, luggage-laden travelers, and foreign visitors of all sizes. It is a sliding door on the left side, which makes it very easy to enter and exit. The object is to replace 1/3 of Tokyo's 30,000 taxis before the Olympic Games start. Government subsidies are giving taxi companies incentives to buy the vehicle. They consume half the fuel of older vehicles, and the anti-collision sensors have reduced accidents by 10%. In other news, the Financial Services Agency, the FSA, is calling on financial institutions to create financial products that focus on longevity risk. This is running out of money before running out of life risk. The FSA warns, though, that there is a need for services that preserve assets for when people with cognitive function deterioration are prominent in the population. Finally, with the rise of research into autonomous driving, certain issues have arisen. In a level 3 situation, the car is self-driving, but the driver must take over in an emergency. How does the car know that this is the time to release the autonomous driving mode? It won't do that until it is sure the driver is ready to take over. Sumitomo Rikko in Nagoya have developed the smart rubber sensor made of anti-vibration electronically conductive rubber material, which can determine which part of the steering wheel the driver is holding by detecting a change in pressure. Currently, computers have a hard time determining whether pressure applied to the rubber on the steering wheel was from the driver or something else. The new sensor will improve the accuracy of these detections. This is episode number 103, and we're talking about the danger zone when presenting. それでは行きましょう. So let's get going. We've worked hard to get our opening right. We know that first impression really counts, and we have planned the start. We contacted the organisers well before the talk to get a sense of who signed up for the talk and what their main interests are. We got to the venue early and checked on all the logistics. We don't need to thump the microphone and ask if anyone can hear us down the back because we've already tested it. We don't need to fuss around with our laptop because we are ready to go. Or if there is a laptop changeover, we do that first before we even start saying one word. That first word is a chosen word, not some accidental offering. We've been speaking with some of the early arrivals to get a sense of why they're attending and to know their name. We reference their name as we start to connect with the audience and remove the barriers between speaker and the gathered masses. We are also fully primed for the end with both our first summation and our final close. We know we need two closes, one for the immediate end of the talk and another for after the Q&A. We have prepared both. We know how to properly handle questions, repeating if not hostile, or paraphrasing if a veiled or direct attack upon us. In this way, we can make sure everyone heard the question and that any invective in a question has been properly neutered. What about the middle bit of the speech? How do we keep attention from start to finish when we have an entire audience fully tooled up with their escape vehicles firmly clasped in their hands? These mobile devices will release them from the mortal toil of listening to us, and they can be swept afar to a more interesting and pleasant clime. The next time you are at a presentation, look around after the first 10 minutes and see what the audience are doing. Many will be surreptitiously scrolling through their Facebook or line feed or whatever, multitasking, rather than giving the speaker their full attention. How do we not become the speaker who has lost the opportunity to get their key message across to the audience? How do we avoid that? Every 5 minutes, we need to switch the pace. We need to be presenting something that gets the attention of the masses. We need an example, a story, a demonstration, audience involvement, etc. This shouldn't be left to random chance. This needs D-Day level planning so that you know what slide you will show at what point, what story you will relate. Your voice is such a phenomenal tool, yet so many neuter it by turning it into a monotone that is guaranteed to become an insomnia cure. Find out more when we come back from the break. If you want to become a fully competent and confident presenter, then do the High Impact Presentations course. We are all being judged when we speak, be it in the internal team meeting or in a public environment, be it the big bosses, clients, or an industry audience. Everyone is evaluating us. Don't blow it. Get the best training on the planet. Do the High Impact Presentations course now in either Japanese or English. Are you doing business with Japan? Do you really know how things work? Japan Business Mastery provides the answers. Do you have the right networks and know how to create them? Do you know how to get on the same wavelength with Japanese buyers? Do you know what being trustworthy looks like from the Japanese perspective? Japan Business Mastery is based on more than 30 years' experience in Japan and will become your go-to guide. Want to succeed in Japan? Buy Japan Business Mastery now. Welcome back. We need to use pace, fast and slow, strength, loud and soft, vocal intonation, up and down. Japanese speakers have a disadvantage on the up and down front because Japanese is a monotone delivery language. No problem. Just work on the pace and strength variables and you will gain enough variety in the delivery to keep your audience's attention. Storytelling is so powerful and so underused. There is a huge demand for reality television, which are like home movies into the lives of celebrities. This is basic storytelling, often at a very mundane level. Nevertheless, these programs draw an audience because we are fascinated by the personal lives of others. So tell your disasters, your failings, your hard-won lessons, your triumphs. Come up with pitty quotes that are referencing well-known legends like JKF or Churchill, etc. The key here is that in the planning, and it's in the practice, what is written down sounds a bit clumsy sometimes when we say it out loud. This is where rehearsal comes in. Go through the presentation and work on the cadence of the delivery. Make sure that every 5 minutes you are switching gears and giving your audience something to do, like raise their hand. Now, don't overdo this because it gets annoying, or ponder or laugh at or get them to nod knowingly. We cannot let our audience escape and lose the benefit of hearing our valuable message to the, giving that up to the idiocies of whatever's going on in social media instead. It is our job to make sure that doesn't happen. And the way to do that is to plan thoroughly on the basics. They will be gone in a nanosecond if we falter. Don't let that happen. The Cutting Edge Japan Business Show is here to help you succeed in Japan. Subscribe on YouTube, share it with your family, friends, and colleagues. Become a regular. Thank you for watching this episode, and remember to hit the subscribe button. Our website details are on screen now, enjapan.dalecarnegie.com. Awesome value, check it out. Please leave me some feedback on YouTube. I would love to know how this show has helped and what other topics you are interested in for me to cover. Remember, I am here as a free resource to help you. So just tell me how I can do that best. You might also enjoy my other weekly shows for podcasts. Mondays, Cutting Edge Japan Business Show. Tuesdays, the Presentations Japan series. Wednesdays, the Sales Japan series. Thursdays, the Leadership Japan series, and Fridays for the Japan Business Mastery Show podcast. All of these, wherever you get your podcasts. Also, on Fridays, I release my other TV show, the Japan Business Mastery Show, on YouTube. In episode 104, we are talking about hard sell hell. Find out more about that next week. So, yoroshiku onegai itashimasu. Please join me for the next episode of the Cutting Edge Japan Business Show. We are here to help you, and we've only got one direction in mind for you and your business, and that is up.